Now that we have our tin file created, we're going to take a look at it and draw it into MicroStation. We're going to use the Load DTM Features tool located in our DTM menu. And this allows us to draw into MicroStation anything about our tin or our DAT file, either one. We're going to look at a tin specifically in our ground.tin file. A couple of preferences we'll set for display. We're going to set our display for extent, which means it'll load the extent of our surface. We'll set our display only option. We'll toggle that on, and we'll toggle graphic group on. Display only meaning that it only temporarily shows us the graphics, that they're not permanently part of this design file that we're in. As far as what we want to see, we can highlight any of the options here and the list, triangles, contours, and so forth, and turn each item on, or certain items on that we want to see. For example, if I want to see the triangles, I simply double click on the option, or I use the icons along the right hand side of our list there to turn the item on or off. Here we'll turn the triangles on, and I'll go ahead and turn these contours off for now. So once the triangles are on, I can set what level, weight, and color I'd like them to display at. For example, I can double click on that sample graphic, and I can set the level, weight, or color to some sort of setting that I want to see, and that will be reflected in the dialog. Once I'm ready to draw them or load them into the graphics, I can click the load button, and we'll load them into the graphics. Again, they are display only, so when I go ahead and refresh my view, update my view in MicroStation, they're gone away. I'll turn triangles off, and now I'll turn contours on. So I'll double click on the contour item. Here we need to set up the interval that we want to see. Maybe that's 2 and 10, maybe that's 1 and 5, it's up to you. As far as smoothing the contours, rounding the corners and so forth, we can set no smoothing, what we call a 3-point smoothing, or a B-spline. B-spline being the most memory intensive and might take a little longer to display. The range that we want to use, we can load a range of contours for our surface, or we can load a single contour. If you're not sure what the range is, for example, you come into the dialog and it's not filled out correctly, you just click the read button. The read button will look at the lowest and highest elevation values in your tin file and display those in the dialog. Now we can set the minor and major line symbology. So we've got major lines and minor lines. Turn those on and set their symbology accordingly. We also could label the contours. The labels are simply plotting a label along the contour element itself, and you can set an interval between the labels, 100 feet, 200 feet, 500 feet, whatever you may like. You also can double click on the sample text graphic and set a color for the text, a font or text style, and a text height and a text width, as well as decimal places. Once those are set, you click OK, and the changes are again reflected in the dialog. You can scroll down and see that there's other things that we could load about a tin surface. We can load spots, break lines, the contours we extracted, voids, islands, and different symbologies. Once I'm ready to display that information, for example, I've turned off the triangles this time, I've got contours on, I'm going to view the major and minor lines. I click load, and Geopack draws those into my MicroStation.